Well, I'm not the one giving you the news that there is petrol scarcity is back all over again. December 2017 was quite tense and difficult for everyone. Well, it wasn't really jolly Christmas and Happy New Year. So we're back. We're now back to a brand new year. We're now into a new year, and it's all still looking like yesterday for everyone. So let's make that one of the burning economic issues that Oludamilare Adesola from Financial Derivatives Company, one of the economists and the research analysts, is going to chew this over with us for a few minutes. Good morning. It's good to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you.
I'm not sure you will be surprised that the oil companies' shares on the stock exchange yesterday didn't move at all. In fact, some of them went down. Looks like you investors are upset with them, isn't it?
Well, I think it's just there's been a lot of rallying in the stock market, so I think that is just finding its ceiling. And the stock market as a whole lost.
If I hold those shares, I'm likely going to be upset. If I'm sitting in a petrol station and I see that the share price of this oil company is going up, then I'm going to say, hold on a second, why? why should that be? But again, take us through these burning economic issues, and I think it's very opposite that the fuel scarcity re-emerges in Lagos, big time, is number one.
Yes. So the burning issues for this morning, as you said, fuel scarcity has resurfaced in Lagos after a brief period of normalcy being introduced. And then also Brent prices are up, as I said this morning, to $69, about $69.5 actually. And then also the power output is up. And also the CBN has come out to say that it might hold a meeting in February, but anyway, whether or not it holds it, we expect that interest rates will stay flat until then. So really, these are just the issues. Diesel is still flat as well at 205 naira.
205 is flat, but that's still on the upside. We saw 197 sometime last year.
Yes, it was 195 at about middle of December.
Yes,
but since then it's come up. But at least it's
folks are still trying to scratch their head, and I'm not sure if you have any idea here why why diesel and kerosene seem to ignore what's happening to petrol. That petrol seems to be the whipping boy on his own, and the other two seem to just stay under the radar, and very quietly the prices haven't really been so significantly on the upside.
Well, because those markets are more deregulated than the petrol market. There's a cap for petrol prices, and it's not supposed to go above 145, but as opposed to diesel, as you said, it's 195 today, it's 200, it's 205. So as the supply moves, they can affect the prices.
And so we should just do the same, shall we?
Well, so that's the debate. That's the debate that. But there's a lot of backlash, and so that's the debate that everyone is saying that, well, just let the price find its equilibrium in the market.
Well, are you sure many Nigerians would like for petrol to find this level?
Well, at this point, it's like how it was last time when there was scarcity and then they increased the price to 145. We were like, okay, fine, at least we can get the petrol.
Yes.
So it's like it's blurred lines, really.
Yes, it's really blurred for me when you look at this particular. We thought we've got our hands on supplies, but suddenly this is re-emerging, and it looks like folks were scratching their head yesterday all over the city. We came out over the weekend thinking that, well, it's going to be a brand new business and market week, and here we are at the moment. So let's look at the economic news. The folks at the National Assembly seems to be giving themselves a nice handshake that they've done with the governance part of the petroleum industry bill, and now say, well, we're going to save so much money, blah, 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 what have you. Okay. So do you think that is one good news?
Yes, definitely it is. It's no news that the sector really needs a lot of reform, and so this is one step in the right direction. Hopefully, as soon as the president signs that off, we can get the reforms rolling in. And so that would also be good for NNPC, which right now is struggling with keeping up to the scale of being the sole importer of petrol. So that would also be helpful.
Some folks say the NNPC should be privatized.
That's another argument.
That's another argument.
That's another argument.
That's highly inflammable.
Well, there are a lot of opinions and arguments of possible solutions for the problem for scarcity. But
what do you think? What do you think we should do with the NNPC?
Well, I think right now, we should be focusing more in the long term, looking at refineries. The main issue is the fact that we are still finding ourselves having to import refined crude, and we shouldn't be in that position. So just looking to just establish that refineries that have the capacity to refine as much as the country needs, as much as is the demand. And so once we get that in place, we would see that in the longer term. Because initially, they try to solve it in the short term. Even if you adjust the prices and say, okay, let's move it upwards, as long as you still have to import it. And we all know that the oil market is very volatile, and even our exchange rate as well, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We're still going to we're going to still find ourselves having to change the price over and over again.
So the pricing is not really the issue first?
No. It's the fact that we even have to import it in the first place. So I think in the short term, yes, we should have to do something about the supply and possibly the pricing template, but then also looking in the long term at refineries and having to just limit, or if at all we have to even import it, let it just be just a fraction of what we need.